Desire is the starting point of every great achievement. It's the spark that ignites a dream, the fuel that sets a vision into motion. But if desire is all you have, it won't take you far. Because while wanting something is easy, the real test comes in what you're willing to do to get it. We all desire success. We all want to live a life of abundance, joy, and purpose. But look around. Why do some people seem to rise while others stay stuck? Why do some push through, no matter the odds, while others give up at the first sign of difficulty? It's because desire alone is not enough. Think about an athlete who dreams of winning a gold medal. They can watch every highlight reel, envision themselves on the podium, and declare their victory all they want. But if they don't train, if they don't wake up early, if they don't push past exhaustion, their dream remains just that, a dream. Talent won't get them there. Wishing won't get them there. Even believing won't get them there. It takes discipline, sacrifice, and relentless commitment. The same principle applies to every area of life. You can desire a strong marriage, but if you're not willing to put in the effort, communicate, and love unconditionally, your relationship won't grow. You can desire financial freedom, but if you're not willing to budget, invest, and be disciplined with your spending, that breakthrough won't come. You can desire spiritual growth, but if you're not willing to seek God, study His Word, and develop your faith, you'll remain in the same place. Desire is only the first step. What separates those who succeed from those who fall short is their willingness to move beyond desire into action. It's the decision to do what others won't, to stay committed when it's inconvenient, and to push forward even when progress seems slow. Many people talk about what they want, but few are willing to do what it takes. They start strong, full of excitement, but when things don't happen fast enough, when obstacles arise, when comfort calls louder than commitment, they retreat. They say, maybe it wasn't meant to be, when the truth is they just didn't want it bad enough. Desire will inspire you, but discipline will sustain you. Desire will excite you, but effort will move you. Desire will give you a vision, but perseverance will bring it to life. It's easy to be committed when everything is going your way, when doors are opening, when opportunities are flowing, when success seems within reach. But the real test of commitment comes when things get tough, when progress is slow, when you don't feel like showing up. That's where most people draw the line, where they shift from I will to I might, from I'm all in to I'll see how it goes. Because commitment is not tested in moments of comfort, it's tested in moments of challenge. Too many people approach their goals with a mindset of convenience. They work when they feel like it. They give effort when the conditions are right. They stay faithful as long as they're seeing results. But real commitment means showing up whether you feel like it or not. It means pushing forward even when the circumstances aren't in your favor. It means deciding that no matter what obstacles come, no matter how long it takes, you're not backing down. Think about a seed planted in the ground. At first, there's nothing to see, no evidence that anything is happening beneath the surface. But the farmer doesn't dig it up every day to check. He doesn't say, well, I don't see results, so I'm giving up. No, he stays committed to the process, watering the soil, trusting the growth, even when it's invisible. The same is true in life. You can't expect to see results if you're only committed when it's easy. Convenience says, I'll do it when I have time. Commitment says, I'll make time. Convenience says, I'll give my best when I feel motivated. Commitment says, I'll give my best no matter what. Convenience looks for the easiest path. Commitment looks for the right path, even if it's hard. Every great success story is built on unwavering commitment. Athletes don't train when it's comfortable. They train when their muscles ache, when they're exhausted, when no one is watching. Entrepreneurs don't build businesses by working only when inspiration strikes. They put in hours when others are sleeping. They keep going when funding runs low. They persist when others quit. Relationships don't thrive because love is convenient. They thrive because love is a decision, because people choose to stay, to forgive, to invest in each other, even when it's difficult. The truth is, commitment requires sacrifice. It will cost you comfort. It will demand more than you expected. It will challenge you to keep going when everything in you wants to stop. But if you only move forward when it's easy, you'll never reach the places God has called you to be. Faith is powerful. It moves mountains, opens doors, and brings the impossible into reality. But faith alone is not enough. You can believe all you want, but without action, your faith remains dormant, waiting for something to happen when God is waiting for you to move. Too many people sit back and say, I'm waiting on God. They pray, they declare, they hope, but they never take a step. They're waiting for the perfect moment, the right sign, the absolute certainty that everything will work out before they move. But faith doesn't work that way. Faith is stepping out even when you don't see the full picture. It's making the move even when you don't have all the answers. It's trusting that as you go, the doors will open. Imagine a farmer who prays for a great harvest but never plants a single seed. He wakes up every day asking for abundance, but the fields remain empty. He believes in God's power to provide, but he does nothing to prepare for the blessing. No matter how strong his faith is, without action, he will reap nothing. Because God doesn't just bless faith, he blesses faith in motion. The Bible says, faith without works is dead. That means faith must be accompanied by action. If you believe God has called you to start a business, take the first step. Research, plan, start where you are. If you believe for healing, take the steps toward health. If you believe for a breakthrough, don't just wait, position yourself for it. Prayer is essential, but preparation is what proves you truly believe. Think about David before he became king. He was anointed, chosen by God, destined for greatness. But he didn't just sit back and wait for the throne to come to him. He fought battles. He served. He remained faithful in the field long before he ever wore a crown. His faith was never passive. It was active. He trusted God, but he also moved. Faith isn't just believing for opportunities, it's preparing for them. It's not just hoping for success, it's working for it. It's not just speaking about a future, it's making decisions today that align with that future. Some people miss out on their blessings not because they lack faith, but because they lack action. They pray for open doors but never knock. They believe for a new season but refuse to let go of the old. They wait for the right time when God is saying, the time is now. Because faith is not about waiting until everything makes sense. It's about trusting that when you move, God moves with you. Obstacles are not signs to quit. They are tests to see how much you really want it. Every great achievement comes with resistance. Every breakthrough is preceded by a battle. And every person who has ever reached their destiny had to push through something that tried to stop them. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is not talent, luck, or opportunity. It's determination. Too often people interpret obstacles as a sign that they're on the wrong path. They assume that if something is difficult, it must not be meant to be. But the truth is, obstacles are not there to stop you, they are there to strengthen you. They separate the interested from the committed. They force you to dig deeper, to develop resilience, to prove that your dream isn't just a passing wish, but a calling you refuse to let go of. Look at any success story, and you'll see a pattern. Before the breakthrough, there was a struggle. Before the victory, there was a challenge. Before the triumph, there was a moment where giving up seemed like the easiest option. A business owner faces financial hardship before they turn a profit. A student has to overcome failure before they earn a degree. A couple fights through difficulties before they experience a strong, lasting relationship. The struggle is not a sign of failure. It's a test to see how badly you want it. Think about an eagle learning to fly. When it's time for the young bird to leave the nest, the mother doesn't make it easy. She stirs the nest, removes the soft padding, and forces her baby into a place of discomfort. Why? Because only when it is pushed beyond comfort does it find its wings. If the eagle never faces resistance, it never learns to soar. The same is true for us. Comfort never produces strength. It is in the struggle that we develop the endurance to fly higher. Every obstacle has a purpose. Some come to teach you patience, others come to develop your character, and some are there simply to see if you will persist. The truth is, if you give up every time something gets hard, you will never reach the fullness of what God has for you. You will never build the muscle needed to sustain your blessing. Some people pray for greater opportunities, but aren't willing to endure the process required to handle them. They want the reward without the sacrifice, the victory without the battle. But destiny doesn't work that way. The question is not whether you will face obstacles. The question is, how will you respond to them? Will you shrink back, or will you rise up? Will you complain, or will you keep pressing forward? Because every obstacle you face is asking you one thing. Do you want it bad enough to fight for it? Your words have power. Every time you open your mouth, you are either breathing life into your dreams or speaking defeat over them. What you say about your future matters, because your words shape your mindset, and your mindset determines your actions. If you keep saying it's too hard, I'll never make it, or I don't have what it takes, you are setting limits on what is possible. But when you declare, I am capable, doors are opening for me, and God is making a way, you activate faith and align yourself with the success that is already on its way. Many people kill their own dreams, not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they speak against what they are believing for. They pray for a breakthrough, but then say, nothing ever works out for me. They work toward a goal, but constantly talk about how difficult and impossible it is. The words they speak create doubt, drain their energy, and eventually they give up, not because they couldn't do it, but because they convinced themselves they could. Look at how God created the universe. He didn't wish for light. He spoke it into existence. Let there be light, and there was light. That same creative power is in your words. When you speak, you are either creating possibilities or reinforcing limitation. That's why you have to be intentional about what comes out of your mouth. Stop saying, I can't do this, and start saying, I am equipped for this. Stop saying, it's never going to happen, and start saying, it's already in motion. Because the moment you shift your language, you shift your life. Think about a seed planted in the ground. If a farmer constantly says, this seed won't grow, and never waters it, never nurtures it, he is sabotaging his own harvest. But when he speaks with expectation, saying the harvest is coming, and does his part, he prepares himself to receive what he believes. Your dreams work the same way. They need nourishment, not just through effort, but through words of faith. This is why successful people speak differently. They don't let negativity dominate their vocabulary. Even when they face challenges, they don't declare defeat, they declare perseverance. They speak what they expect, not what they fear. They know that their words are seeds, and in due time, they will reap the harvest of what they have spoken. What you say about your future will either push you toward it or pull you away from it. If you want to see doors open, start speaking like they already have. If you want to walk in confidence, start declaring that you are bold and capable. If you want to reach a new level, start using words that align with where you're going, not where you've been. Because when you consistently speak life, you will start to see life flourish in ways you never imagined. Every decision you make leads you down one of two paths: discipline or regret. Both come with a cost. The difference is that discipline is temporary, but regret lasts a lifetime. Discipline may be uncomfortable in the moment, but regret weighs you down long after the opportunity has passed. Discipline is waking up early to chase your dream when you'd rather sleep in. It's saying no to distractions, sacrificing short-term pleasure for long-term gain. It's putting in the work when no one is watching, staying committed even when motivation fades. Discipline doesn't always feel good, but it always produces results. The pain of pushing through now is nothing compared to the joy of success later. Regret, on the other hand, comes when you realize you had the chance, but you didn't take it. When you look back and think, if only I had tried harder. Regret is the weight of knowing you had the talent but never used it, that you had the vision but never pursued it, that you had the opportunity but let it slip away. The pain of regret lingers because it cannot be undone. You can't go back and reclaim the moments you wasted. You can't redo the days, months, or years that passed while you waited for the perfect time. Imagine two people standing at the same starting point. One chooses discipline. They endure the sacrifices, push through the struggles, and keep going when others quit. The other chooses convenience, avoiding discomfort, procrastinating, and making excuses. Fast forward 5 years, and one is living in the reward of their discipline, stronger, wiser, successful. The other is stuck in the weight of regret, wondering what could have been. Think about an athlete training for the Olympics. They don't win medals by training only when they feel like it. They push their bodies beyond limits, endure the pain of workouts, and make sacrifices others won't. Why? Because they understand that the pain of discipline now is nothing compared to the pain of watching someone else take the gold while they sit in regret. The same principle applies to every area of life. If you don't make time for your health, you'll make time for sickness. If you don't discipline yourself to save and invest, you'll regret financial struggles later. If you don't build strong relationships now, you'll regret the distance and broken connections in the future. The truth is, life will challenge you either way. You will either feel the discomfort of growth or the pain of missed opportunities. You will either endure the struggle of staying committed or the regret of knowing you gave up too soon. One path leads to strength, confidence, and success. The other leads to frustration, disappointment, and the haunting question, what if? Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Just because your dream is taking longer than expected doesn't mean God has forgotten about you. Delay is not denial, it's preparation, refinement, and positioning for something greater than you imagined. So often people get discouraged when things don't happen on their timeline. They pray, they work hard, they believe, but when they don't see immediate results, doubt creeps in. They start to question, did I hear God right? Is this even meant for me? Maybe I should just give up. But what they don't realize is that delay is often a divine setup. It's not a rejection, it's a process. Think about Joseph. He had a dream of greatness, a vision of leadership, but instead of stepping right into his destiny, he was betrayed, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, and wrongfully imprisoned. Year after year, it seemed like everything was going in the opposite direction of what God had promised, but what looked like delay was really preparation. Every setback was building his character, strengthening his faith, and positioning him for the moment he would step into his purpose. And when the time was right, he went from the prison to the palace in an instant. The same is true for you. What feels like a delay is not God saying no, it's Him saying not yet, because I'm preparing you for more than what you're asking for. Maybe you haven't met the right person yet because God is still shaping you for the relationship you're meant to have. Maybe the business hasn't taken off yet because there are lessons you need to learn before you can handle success. Maybe the door hasn't opened because the opportunity God has for you is bigger than the one you were expecting. A delay doesn't mean nothing is happening. Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean things aren't moving behind the scenes. Seeds take time to grow. A house takes time to build. A masterpiece takes time to create. If you give up too soon, you might walk away right before your breakthrough. Too many people let impatience rob them of their destiny. They quit on the dream because it's taking longer than expected. They compromise because they're tired of waiting. They settle for less than they deserve because they assume what they wanted isn't coming. But what they don't realize is that the waiting season is not wasted, it's shaping them for what's ahead. Delay is where endurance is built. It's where faith is strengthened. It's where God teaches you to trust Him even when you don't understand the timing. What you're believing for is not denied, it's just on a different schedule than you planned. Instead of getting discouraged, choose to trust. Instead of complaining, choose to prepare. Because when the moment comes, when the doors open, when the promise is fulfilled, you'll realize that the delay was never about keeping something from you. It was about getting you ready for it. Who you surround yourself with will either push you forward or pull you back. The people in your life are either fueling your fire or extinguishing it. If you want to stay motivated, if you want to keep growing, if you want to reach new levels, you need to surround yourself with fire starters. People who inspire you, challenge you, and ignite something greater inside of you. Fire starters are the ones who believe in you when doubt tries to creep in. They remind you of your potential when you feel discouraged. They don't let you settle for less than what you're capable of. When you tell them your dream, they don't laugh at it. They encourage it. When you talk about where you're going, they don't try to pull you back. They push you forward. Too many people surround themselves with fire extinguishers. These are the ones who tell you why it won't work, why you're not qualified, why you should just play it safe. They project their fears onto you. They see life through the lens of limitation. Instead of pushing you to dream bigger, they try to shrink your vision down to match their own doubts. And if you're not careful, you'll start absorbing their mindset. You'll start believing that their limitations apply to you. You'll start lowering your expectations, settling for less, and playing small just to fit in. Look at the people closest to you. Are they lighting your fire or putting it out? Are they pushing you toward your purpose or pulling you away from it? The right people will elevate you. The wrong people will drain you. The right people will stir up your passion. The wrong people will make you question it. Think about an Olympic athlete. They don't train with people who are half-hearted. They don't surround themselves with people who skip workouts and make excuses. They train with champions, with people who push them to be better, who demand excellence, who raise their standards, because they understand that if they want to win, they can't afford to be surrounded by mediocrity. The same applies to your life. If you want to grow, you have to be intentional about who you allow into your inner circle. You need mentors who have gone further than you, friends who challenge you to be better, and people who set a standard of excellence. You need those who speak life into your dreams, who celebrate your victories, and who remind you of your purpose when the journey gets tough. Fire starters don't let you stay stuck. They don't let you settle for comfort. They don't let you make excuses. They bring energy, faith, and vision. They don't see obstacles, they see opportunities. They don't dwell on the past, they focus on the future. And when you have those kinds of people around you, you won't just keep your fire burning, you'll set the world on fire. Comfort is the enemy of growth. It's easy to stay where things are familiar, where the routine is predictable, where you don't have to stretch yourself. But greatness never comes from comfort. Every breakthrough, every success story, every person who has ever done something extraordinary had to push past what was easy to reach what was possible. Too many people settle because comfort feels safe. They stay in jobs they don't love, relationships that don't fulfill them, and routines that don't challenge them, not because it's what they really want, but because it's what they know. Stepping into the unknown feels risky. Leaving behind what's familiar feels uncomfortable. But the truth is, the life you're longing for, the dream you're believing for, the destiny you were created for, it's not found in your comfort zone. It's on the other side of your willingness to be stretched. Look at anyone who's achieved greatness and you'll see a pattern. They didn't get there by staying where it was easy. Athletes don't become champions by training only when they feel like it. Entrepreneurs don't build empires by playing it safe. Leaders don't make an impact by choosing convenience over commitment. They push past exhaustion. They push past rejection. They push past fear. And in doing so, they unlock a level of potential that comfort could never give them. Think about a butterfly. It doesn't emerge in beauty and strength without first fighting its way out of the cocoon. That struggle, that resistance is what builds its wings. If you were to cut the process short, if you were to make it easier, it wouldn't develop the strength it needs to fly. The same is true for you. If everything in life was effortless, if you never faced challenges, if you never had to step out of your comfort zone, you would never grow into the person you were meant to be. There will always be moments when comfort tries to call you back, when fear whispers, stay where it's safe, when doubt says, what if you fail? But the truth is, the only real failure is choosing not to try. The only real loss is letting comfort rob you of your potential. You weren't created for mediocrity. You weren't designed to play small. There is more inside of you, more strength, more purpose, more ability, but you will never tap into it if you always choose what's easy. Growth is uncomfortable. Success is demanding. Destiny requires sacrifice. But if you're willing to embrace the discomfort, if you're willing to stretch yourself, if you're willing to keep going when everything in you wants to quit, you will discover that what once felt impossible is actually within your reach. Because on the other side of comfort is where greatness begins. Faith without action is just wishful thinking. You can pray for opportunities, but if you're not willing to work for them, you're not truly believing for them. God honors effort. He blesses those who are diligent, those who show up day after day, putting in the time, pushing through obstacles, refusing to quit when things get tough. Too often people wait for a miracle when God is waiting for movement. They say, God, open the door, but they never take a step. They say, God, bless my business, but they don't put in the work to grow it. They say, God, give me strength, but they don't take care of their body. Faith is not sitting back, waiting for things to happen. It's stepping out, doing your part, trusting that God will meet you in your effort. Look at the people in the Bible who saw great miracles. When David defeated Goliath, God gave him the victory, but David had to step onto the battlefield. When the Israelites crossed the Jordan River, God made a way, but they had to put their feet in the water first. When the woman with the issue of blood was healed, Jesus had the power, but she had to push through the crowd to touch his garment. Time and time again, we see that God moves when people move. Some people are waiting for a perfect moment, a clear sign, or a guarantee of success before they take action. But if you wait for everything to be perfect, you'll never start. Hustle requires faith. It means stepping out even when you don't see the full picture. It means waking up early, staying late, giving your best even when no one is watching. It means working as if success is already on its way, because you know that when you put in the effort, God will multiply it. Think about a farmer planting seeds. He doesn't just sit back and hope for a harvest. He tills the soil, waters the ground, and does the hard work long before he sees any results. He trusts that in due time, the harvest will come. The same is true in life. You can't expect results without investment. You can't expect success without sacrifice. You can't expect God to bless what you're not willing to work for. The truth is, the hustle isn't just about achieving success. It's about preparation. God is not just interested in what you get. He's interested in who you become in the process. Hard work builds character. Perseverance shapes discipline. The struggle strengthens your faith. Every challenge, every late night, every sacrifice is refining you for what's ahead. God is not looking for people who just wish for more. He's looking for people who are willing to work for it. He blesses movement, multiplies effort, and rewards faith in action. When you show up, when you put your hands to the plow, when you refuse to let obstacles stop you, you position yourself for the blessings that are already on their way.